There's something different about today, isn't there? The fact that you found these words right now in this exact moment of your life. This isn't coincidence. This is one of those moments where the universe stops being subtle, where it practically grabs you by the shoulders and says, "Pay attention, something's shifting." You've been feeling it lately, this strange mix of anticipation and exhaustion. Like you're standing at the edge of something you can't quite see yet, but your whole body knows it's there. But here's what you need to understand. You're not waiting for something to happen. It's already happening. You're already inside the transformation. What you're experiencing right now, this exact feeling, this precise discomfort mixed with possibility, this is what breakthrough feels like from the inside. Maybe you've been noticing things that don't quite make sense, conversations that feel oddly significant, numbers appearing repeatedly, songs playing at exactly the right moment. Small things, but they feel charged somehow, like reality itself is trying to tell you something. Or maybe it's the opposite. Maybe things have been falling apart, relationships ending, plans crumbling, old patterns suddenly unbearable. And you've been wondering if you're somehow failing, if you're moving backwards instead of forward. You're not failing. You're not moving backwards. You're in the final approach pattern of your breakthrough, and everything you're experiencing right now, the chaos, the intensity, the strange signs, these are all proof that your victory isn't just coming, it's already in motion. Think of it like this. Imagine you're flying through clouds, unable to see, trusting your instruments, and suddenly you start hitting turbulence. Not the gentle kind, the kind that makes you grip your armrests. That turbulence isn't random. It's what happens when you're breaking through one layer of atmosphere into another, when you're crossing the threshold between where you were and where you're going. That's exactly where you are right now, in the turbulence between worlds. The first thing you've probably noticed are the synchronicities, little things that feel too perfect to be random. You think of someone and they call, you need an answer, and it appears in an overheard conversation. A book falls off a shelf open to exactly the page you needed to read. These aren't your imagination. When you're approaching breakthrough, reality becomes more responsive. It's like the universe starts speaking in a language only you can hear. These small signs are the first whispers of the massive shift that's already underway. But then there's the dismantling. This is the part nobody warns you about. Right before breakthrough, things have to fall apart. Not because you're doing something wrong, but because the old structure can't hold the new reality. It's like trying to pour ocean into a teacup. The container has to break. So, that relationship that's been limping along suddenly ends. The job you've been tolerating becomes unbearable overnight. The habits that used to comfort you now feel like prison bars. This isn't destruction, it's renovation. The universe is clearing space for what's coming, and everything gets amplified. Your emotions run deeper, colors seem brighter, or everything feels gray. You're either exhausted or wired. Never in between. Food tastes different. Sleep comes in extremes. Too much or not at all. Your whole system is recalibrating, preparing for a new frequency of existence. You know what else happens? You start getting previews, brief moments where you taste your future success. A random compliment about exactly the thing you're working toward. An unexpected opportunity that shows you what's possible. A dream so vivid, it feels like memory. These aren't teases. They're confirmations. Your future self sending signals back through time saying, yes, you make it. Here's something you need to understand about how breakthrough actually works. It never arrives the way you expect. You're looking for the big moment, the dramatic shift, the obvious victory. But breakthrough is sneakier than that. It builds in the shadows, gathers momentum in places you're not watching, then suddenly cascades into your life all at once. Right now, you might be in what I call the final test phase. This is when the universe seems to throw everything at you at once. Old fears resurface with new intensity. Challenges appear that hit your exact weak spots. Doubts get louder than they've ever been. This isn't punishment. This isn't the universe testing whether you deserve success. This is your old identity making its last stand. The part of you that's comfortable with struggle, that knows how to survive but not thrive, that's terrified of who you might become. It throws everything it has at you right before it surrenders, and time starts acting strange. Days feel like weeks, hours stretch and compress. You lose track of what month it is. This temporal distortion happens because you're literally shifting timelines. You're moving from one trajectory of your life to another, and in that transition space, normal rules don't apply. But notice who's showing up in your life lately. New people appearing as if from nowhere, speaking your language, seeing your vision. Old connections suddenly deepening. Strangers offering exactly what you need without you asking. You're becoming magnetic to your tribe because you're all tuning to the same frequency of transformation. Sometimes you'll feel this absolute knowing, not hope, not wish, but bone-deep certainty that your breakthrough is inevitable. That feeling isn't delusion, it's recognition. Part of you has already crossed over and is calling the rest of you forward. Then doubt crashes in harder than ever. Who do you think you are? This isn't going to work. You're fooling yourself. This voice gets loudest right before surrender. It's like how the night is darkest just before dawn. Not poetry, but physics. The old pattern fights hardest right before it dies. Here's what actually happens when breakthrough arrives. It rarely comes alone. You've been pushing against one door for so long, not realizing you're actually pushing against an entire wall. When it finally gives way, multiple doors open at once. The opportunity you've been waiting for appears, but so does another one you never expected. The relationship improves, but so does your health. The creative block dissolves, but so does the financial pressure. It's like the universe was saving up all your rewards and delivers them in one overwhelming cascade. You'll find yourself naturally doing things differently, not because you're forcing change, but because the old ways simply don't fit anymore. You'll catch yourself responding instead of reacting, choosing differently without thinking about it. The transformation isn't something you do. It's something you've become. That project you've been struggling with suddenly flows. Words come, ideas connect, solutions appear obvious that were invisible before. Not because you got smarter, but because you're finally aligned with the version of you that already completed it. Your standards shift without effort. What used to be acceptable isn't anymore. What used to trigger you doesn't. You're not trying to be different. You are different. The breakthrough isn't just changing your circumstances. It's changing you at a cellular level. The turbulence you're experiencing isn't the storm. It's you breaking through the clouds. Every strange synchronicity, every dismantled structure, every moment of intensity. These are all instruments confirming you're exactly where you need to be, approaching exactly what's meant for you. Your breakthrough isn't a possibility you're hoping for. It's a reality that's already in motion. You can feel it in the way everything is speeding up, in the way old patterns are becoming impossible to maintain, in the way new people and opportunities are magnetizing toward you. You're standing in that space where your future self reaches back to pull you forward, where what was and what will be overlap, where the impossible becomes inevitable. The exhaustion you feel isn't failure, it's labor. You're birthing a new version of yourself. The chaos isn't destruction, it's reconstruction. The intensity isn't random, it's purposeful. Everything happening right now is happening for you, not to you. This is the part where you stop pushing and start allowing, where you recognize that the breakthrough isn't something you have to make happen. It's something you have to let happen. The universe has already set everything in motion. Your job now is to stay open, stay present, and stop fighting the very transformation you've been calling in. You know that feeling when you're on a plane, descending through clouds, and suddenly you break through and can see the ground? That moment of clarity, of arrival, of oh, we're here, that's moments away for you. Not years, not months, moments. If you recognize yourself in these words, if you're nodding along thinking, this is exactly what's happening to me, type, I'm arriving in the comments. You're not alone in this turbulence. There are thousands of us breaking through the clouds together right now. Every sign is pointing to the same truth. Your victory isn't approaching. It's arriving. The breakthrough you've been sensing isn't future. It's now. The transformation isn't coming. You're inside it. The universe doesn't send these signs to people who aren't ready. It doesn't create this level of synchronicity for practice, this intensity, this dismantling, this rebuilding. It only happens when breakthrough is inevitable. You already know this is true. You can feel it in your bones. That certainty that keeps breaking through the doubt, that's not hope, that's knowing, that's recognition, that's your future self confirming. You made it. You're making it. It's already done. The turbulence ends the moment you realize it was never turbulence at all. It was just what ascending feels like.